Jaszmyn again, and it's the beginning of Women's History Month. So, in honor of this special occasion, I've decided to bring to you 10 ladies that have made history here in Cincinnati, in the past and in the present. While doing the research to figure out who to incorporate inside this project, I learned a lot about the city of Cincinnati and how far we've come and how much of it was just built off the strength of females, basically. They've helped contribute to what the city is today, and I couldn't be more thankful because it's helping me build the career that I want for myself, and it's all thanks to these lovely ladies that I'm about to introduce you guys to. So first up, I'm going to introduce you to two ladies who are a part of conservation. Now, I didn't know what conservation was until I looked it up, and it's basically the upkeep of all of our natural resources, such as air, water, plants, and everything that we need to help make the ecosystem a better place. Dr. Rama Castori started her journey in conservation almost 30 years ago. But it was only just a few years ago that she was told that a cultural arts center will be built within Bernard Woods Park, a park that she had grown to know and love over the years. She felt as though she needed to protect the one place that continued to bring her peace during one of the many trying times in her life. But while also speaking out against the big corporations, Dr. Castori was recovering from a breast cancer diagnosis that she had been fighting for a few years prior to that. She says that walking in the park was the best medicine that she could have received. And so with that, she felt she needed to protect the place that helped bring her peace in a very trying time in her life. She was fighting two battles at the same time. Luckily, she won both, and that was pretty great in my eyes. As she could have easily given up in both ways, but she didn't. She kept fighting and she kept working towards what she wanted. The corporation lost, and the Bernard Woods Park is still in place, and all the while she's cancer-free as well too. So she won twice. Kathy Bernadino Bailey is the executive director at Cincinnati Waterworks. She's the first African American and first female to do so in the company's over 200-year history. She didn't let gender norms define where she should be or what she should be doing, and that's pretty impressive and very inspiring for me. She is a leader in a male-dominated industry, and she hasn't let the gender norm stop her from making history. And she's been doing so for almost 35 years in the Cincinnati area. Dr. Castori and Miss Bailey have shown me that just because of your background, what color you may be, or what gender you may be, that's never gonna stop it should never stop you from achieving the goal that you set out in place to do. And I think that's pretty amazing. Now, I would like to introduce a group of ladies whose contributions to the city of Cincinnati helped Black people gain equal rights, such as having fair transportation, swimming in the swimming pool, and a good level of education. First is Sarah Fawcett. She was a well-known beautician, but she was also an abolitionist here in the city of Cincinnati. And she helped many enslaved people get through the Underground Railroad to freedom. But in 1859, Mrs. Fawcett got on a streetcar downtown, but was forcibly removed by the conductor. Mrs. Fawcett sued the streetcar company and won, and because of that victory, Black women are now allowed to ride on streetcars. At a time like that, to have such bravery as a Black woman, it took a lot of fearlessness to do what she did, and it's very commendable and very, very much appreciated, because without her, that right, we might not have that special right today, or it might have taken us a longer time to get that right to do so, just as something as simple as riding a streetcar. Next up is Miss Virginia Coffey. Miss Virginia Coffee was a civil rights advocate, a teacher, and she was also part of the NAACP's Education Committee. She began her career as a teacher in the early 1920s by teaching at the city's all-black Stowe School. She was so upset by the racism that was happening here in the city that she wanted to leave. But she was later persuaded not to, and that is when she joined the NAACP. But what she is most well known for is the integration of the city's swimming school in O'Brienville. She was a part of ending the segregation that was at Coney Island. She also created the first Girl Scout troop for African American girls. Up next is Marion A. Spencer. Marion A. Spencer was a civil rights advocate and a city council member for many years here in the city of Cincinnati. In 1952, she filed a civil suit against Coney Island after she called to see if her children would be allowed to attend an event that the amusement park was having. And after being told no, because no Negroes were allowed at the park, she, along with the help of the NAACP, won their lawsuit, which helped desegregate Coney Island. But she wouldn't stop there. For many years, Miss Spencer was the chair of the Education Committee for the NAACP for 20 years. And then in 1983, she became the first African American female to win Cincinnati City Council. Her legacy doesn't just stop there. She was recently honored at the University of Cincinnati with her own dormitory hall. And just last summer, she was also honored again with her own statue. It was also unveiled at Riverfront Park. So, Miss Spencer lived a very long life. She lived up until she was 99 years old. So her legacy didn't stop there. Her name will now really live on forever, not just because of her statue, but for the many things she was able to accomplish in her long lifetime, which many people don't get to see. The three ladies that I spoke about for civil rights, there was so much information on all of them, but I don't want to stop it there, so I'm going to include some of the websites that I went to so you guys can all do your own research and learn more about these ladies. Next up, we have two women who showed the world their athletic abilities. One went to the Olympics, and the other, she was portrayed in a film. Dottie Kaminshek was an all-star player on an all-girls professional baseball team. She was born right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Her skills were so good that she almost got recruited by an all-male minor league baseball team in Florida, but she decided to decline. Miss Dottie inspired the character portrayal by Gina Davis in the film A League of Their Own that was directed by Penny Marshall. Up next is Mary Weinberg. Mary is an Olympic gold medalist who won gold at the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing. She was born in Brooklyn, but she received most of her high school and college education here in Cincinnati. She was also the first African American female who attended UC to win gold at the Olympic Games for track and field. In the 4x400 event. Now Mary was recently elected to serve on the Cincinnati Board of Education after being a teacher at Walnut Hills for over 10 years. Up next, we have the ladies who graced the silver screen. Up first is Theda Bara. She was born in Avondale here in Cincinnati. She was born in 1885 and began her acting career at the age of 18. Now, in the span of her career, from the years 1915 to 1919, she was in over 40 silent films, which is a lot of films to star in that short of amount of time. With the way she looked and the way she portrayed herself, she inspired the vamp look in silent films around that time, which was well known for having a pale face and sharp facial features that added well onto the dark, mysterious feel of those movies back then. Some of her well-known movies are A Fool There Was, Carmen, and Salome, if anyone is interested in looking those films up. Up next is Kiki Lane. Kiki began acting when she was only 7 years old. She begged her parents to send her to the School of Performing Arts, and she was able to do so, and she also graduated from there in the year 2009. In 2018, after she went to school in Chicago at DePaul University, and then she moved to Los Angeles, she starred along with Regina King in the film If Beale Street Could Talk. She would go on to have more successful roles like in The Old Guard with Charlize Theron, and then she also starred in the sequel to Coming to America along with the original cast, which is also, as I was looking up her career and everything that she's done, I feel as though like it really helped me a bit more, considering that I am trying to also achieve success in the entertainment area of all films and TV. So looking her up and seeing that she's from here and everything that she was able to do has also really helped me and gave me the push and the creative flow that I needed to keep going. Up next is Dr. Chantel Thomas. Dr. Thomas owns a Sound Mind Counseling here in the Cincinnati area. She owns multiple locations in Hartwell, Blue Ash, Westchester, and also I believe there's one on the west side of Cincinnati as well too. Although Dr. Thomas is the lead in her own private practice, she also has an all-female group of clinical counselors as well that are also helping others with their own issues as well, which is very helpful. Dr. Thomas is also very special to me because she's helped me get through a lot of things that I didn't really want to express with others, but she's the perfect person to go to as well. And I recommend her to a lot of people, not just her, but everyone else, all the other therapists that are there as well too. I recommend the entire office to anyone who's looking into speaking to a therapist or just needing someone to talk to. I recommend a Sound Mind Counseling for that. But yeah, this was fun. This entire project has been very fun to it's been very fun to do. I did a lot of research for a couple of weeks to learn more about all of these ladies, so I didn't leave anything out. But I also want everyone to do their own research, which is why I will be leaving the name of every website that I went to at the bottom of the screen, just so you guys can get a better feel for who these ladies are, who they were, and what they stood for, and everything that they accomplished. And I hope you enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed making it, even though I was very nervous the entire time. Bye, everybody.